I'm sure you're excited about the possibilities of doing ribbon embroidery on the Husqvarna Viking Designer EPIC 2. So if you do have this accessory, let's pull it out and try it. And I'm going to show you some tips for getting ribbon wound on here, how easy it is actually to attach it to the machine, and actually how quick a ribbon design actually stitches. So there's multiple places to get designs. First, there is quite a few designs that come built into the EPIC 2. So I'm going to show you how to find those. Next, you can also get additional designs in the My Sew Net library, and there's a lot of ribbon designs in there. And in the newest version of Viking's software, you are now able to create your own ribbon embroidery designs. So lots of places to get it, but let's just even start off with some of the basics and using the designs. So I do actually have some fabric hooped up and ready to go. I am using actually one of the largest hoops that comes with this machine, the 360 by 260. And the first thing to do, if you really want to find where your ribbon embroidery designs are, touch the Joy OS Advisor at the top of your screen, and in the embroidery area you're going to find under Select Technique in the Surfaced Embroidery area. So if you come up to just basic embroidery, kind of scroll this way until you find Surfaced Embroidery, and then go down to Ribbon Embroidery Attachment. Now also in here, Thread Velvet, Fringe Embroidery, and Foam Embroidery. Now if some of you are like, what? I had no idea I had these designs. The reason I like to go to this area to find designs is because when I do that, not only will it pull up the tutorial, but it'll also pull up all the built-in designs from all throughout the book. So these are some of the designs, and I have chosen to do the thank you, and I'm going to do it in the lime green ribbon since I happen to have some of it, and I want to show you how to wind that next. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that in, and then as I had the directions up here, I will tell you that I followed these directions to the T the very first time I opened up my ribbon embroidery attachment, and it worked directly out of the box. So with following my video here, plus going through these steps, and watch, as you get going, it's going to get you step by step. As soon as you find a step with a video camera and a play button, that's where you're going to start. So as you start here, it's going to advise us to pull out our ribbon embroidery attachment and get things started with the ribbon. Now what's nice about this video is it's going to go ahead and pause every so often so you can do the steps with it. So right here where it paused, just note that you can tell it not to pause, touch it right here where the blue dashes are, and then it will play the whole video in connected. So it will play all the videos that are on your screen. So let's look in the box, see what comes with it. Also, if you're more of a, like, you forget how to do it, but you've done it a few times, just a quick little reference, this will be handy as well. And inside, you're going to find the whole entire attachment. You are going to notice that it has a plug-in. This is the same place that your buttonhole foot plugs in. It's on the back side of the machine. So once we actually are told to plug it in, we'll be going on the back side, and then it'll recognize the ribbon attachment. There's also a different part that actually this attaches to. So we are going to be taking off the embroidery foot and attaching a different ankle altogether. So another quick thing that's helpful is under the sewing information for these designs, it tells me how much ribbon I actually need. So for the thank you design, we are going to be needing 2 yards or 2.2 meters of ribbon, and you can pick different kinds of ribbon, different widths. You'll just need to experiment. Some I've seen done with satin ribbons. I've seen it done with almost like the sheer ribbons and other fibers as well. So just because you feel like ribbon might not be your thing, just note that you can go into other things like the t-shirt yarns and other fibers and experiment. Anything that you can pretty much wrap on this ring can actually be used. Okay, so you don't really have to worry, but there is a point where thickness will, and thickness as in width, will matter. This one is 6 millimeters wide, but once we put it on the ring and wind it through, there's a place that we're going to set it so it perfectly holds holds this in place based on how wide the ribbon is. So I actually have some ribbon wound on here, but I'm going to take it apart and kind of show you how we started. So to unclip this part here, if it's clipped, you're going to push up, and then that will allow you to separate the ribbon ring. And since I pulled some of it off, you can see that it's just a matter of taking your ribbon, getting it started along the edge here, and then winding it around this drum. Once you get it all the way wound, I'm going to show you how we attach it to the embroidery attachment. So this part here, the little end, needs to eventually find its way out through the side. So if you do have some ribbon that is a right side and a wrong side, you are going to need to wind it onto that ring correctly, because as it gets kind of flipped, you're going to notice that it is going to sit down here, so it kind of flip-flops all the way down. So the right side or shiny part of your ribbon needs to be facing out at this point, and then as it gets flipped over, that will then be what is stitched down from the inside. So after we get to this point, we're going to lock that in place so it doesn't come apart. I'm going to flip it over, and this is how simple it is. You're going to just take your ribbon, feed it down through this little guide, up through this one, and then in underneath where it's going to be held. Now I did have this a little tighter, so these little kind of twist part is what makes it hold the ribbon into the center of where the stitching is going to be. And this is where you're going to adjust it for how wide of ribbon or yarn or such that you're actually using. So too much will kind of kink it, so you're just really kind of getting it nice and snug right through here. Now, if for any reason you kind of get some of this pulled out and it's a longer tail than you wish, don't worry, by the time we're all done, you can always give this a little bit of a wind back, and so you won't be wasting any part of that tail. When you're ready to start stitching, touch go and let that embroidery arm move into position. Attach the hoop that you will be using, and when instructed, we're going to go ahead and attach the ribbon attachment to the machine. Look for the red line, and these pins should be on the right side. So as you position this into place, you'll bring your screw right on over and through. Make sure you give it a good little tighten, and if you need to, make sure your presser foot is all the way up, and also raise your needle a little bit higher if necessary. You can see that this outside ring moves, and so does the inside ring. So you can actually move this around. Before you attach it to the machine, you do need to match the red line here with the red mark on the inside. So line up that, and then move this part, the outside ring, so one of the 4 red marks matches up with it as well. Next, bring the attachment around the back side of the machine until that comes into the center area. Lift it up just enough to attach to those brackets, and then plug in the attachment to the back of the machine. Once it's attached, you'll get a new message that it needs to calibrate. So go ahead and touch the green check mark. You might hear some clicks and it might startle you just a little bit, but it is now locked and loaded for our stitch out. Make sure you have plenty of bobbin thread and your machine is threaded before you put the ribbon attachment on. Once you're ready to stitch, push the start button and sit back and watch ribbon embroidery start to be created. A couple things at the end. Go ahead and clip your ribbon so you can take off the attachment. You're going to get a OK button here, and then it says cut the ribbon inside the attachment between the ribbon guides. Remove the ribbon embroidery attachment and set your machine for standard embroidery. So I'm going to unplug from the back, and then it's really just a push of this little button here, and it slides everything everything back towards the back, and then just kind of realign everything. You're kind of going away from you so you don't catch that needle. Now we do have some starts and stops in this position here, where I'm going to just take a tapestry needle and thread the ribbon on it, and then kind of bring the ribbon to the back side of the fabric. So just right here, I'm going to just kind of sink that straight down into the back, and then I'll go ahead and do the other one as well. That might take a little bit of maneuvering to get that to go through, but that's what you're looking at. Isn't that fun? I can't wait to I'm going to put this in a frame and put it on display. So thank you so much for watching all of our videos. We do have links below where you can find all the videos that we have done on this Husqvarna Viking EPIC. We do have online courses for you to join us with as well. So if the ribbon attachment is something you're interested in, contact your local Husqvarna Viking retailer, and then they hook you up with this amazing feature that your machine is capable of doing.